So every so-called black man, Hispanic and Indian, at some point in their life, they're going to get that nigga wake-up call. Usually the ones at the bottom that's in the poverty, they get that call every day. Okay? Like, every day they get that call. That they still look at me. Has nothing changed. Like I'm a slave, like I'm inferior, like I'm a nigga, like I'm a byword, right? I'm going to start off with the book of Romans chapter 13. Y'all know I'm going into Cosby. Y'all know that, right? Okay. Before I take some time to get there, because I'm not on nobody's side. Let me just make that clear, okay? I could give a damn about the world, and I mean that. I could give a damn about the world and everybody in it, okay? But what I do care about, okay, is all of the policies and the things that the Lord is making issues and that he's going to have an issue with. Do everybody understand that? And the issue is with the justice system. This is not by accident. The apostles will tell you the second demand is getting ready to go out. But look at this. The second demand was supposed to already go out. And it was hindered and delayed and held back because the Lord wanted more attention. Okay, being focused, attention being brought to the issue of black men in America in jail, okay? So let's just go to Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And let's start there. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. Read that for me, please.
And that knowing the time.
And that knowing the time. Okay, so you got to know the time. If you are so-called minority in this country, you got to know the time. Okay, you got to know what time you in. The scripture says that you have to redeem the time, and that you have to walk circumspect. You have to walk wise, redeeming the time. That means you got to know the time you're living in. You got to know the environment that you are a part of. Let's go to the book, hold that and get the book of 1 Peter chapter 4. 1 Peter chapter 4. In verse 2. So what time is it for so-called minorities, for the Israelites? The tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi on down. Manasseh on up. Issachar on up. Blacks and Hispanics and Indians. What time is it? It's time for them to return to God. That's the only, there is no other choice. Anything else that's chosen, anything else that they choose is death. Do everybody understand that? Let's get the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 2. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 2. And read that.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men.
Okay, so that's the time for minorities. It's time to stop playing. It's time to stop being rebellious. And it's time to turn your life and submit your life over to God. That's what time it is for everybody that is labeled as a Hispanic, a black, and an Indian. Okay? In the truth and outside of the truth. Read it one more time.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men.
Yeah, if you can't notice the time that you are in, like the scripture says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. If you're not aware of your surroundings, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer tremendously. And why are you going to suffer tremendously? Because God is going to allow you to suffer. What you're going to find out, in which I don't have time to actually go through. It's not on my curriculum. It's not within my topic to go through certain scriptures where the Lord said he's going to leave people not protected. And then you're gonna see the results of not being able to go to God, not having a God, and not being protected by God. You're going to be left to the will of the demons. And it's on display, so you'll be able to see what it is. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. So wake up before you get your nigga wake-up call. And know the time. Read it again.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh.
Read on.
To the lust of men.
To what?
The lust of men.
Read on.
But to the will of God.
But to what?
The will of God.
Yeah, you got to live to do God's will. It's as you state in the, as Christ taught us how to pray. And he said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. This is the purpose of your existence. The scriptures call it a responsibility. Through the wisdom of Solomon in the book of Ecclesiastes, he called it the duty of man. What is a duty? It is a responsibility to fear God and to keep his commandments. That you are held responsible. And if you're held responsible, you're going to be held accountable if you do not. This is the time of the curse. Either you're going to get God's wrath, which I'm going to go through tonight, or you're going to get God's mercy. Either you're going to be protected by God and surrounded by the angels, or you're going to be given over to the will of the demons. No matter how much the demons try to make you feel like that they on your side. You got a wake-up call coming, okay? You're going to be asleep one day, and the phone going to ring. And when you pick it up, they go, nigga! How do you know, which I know you don't know, but how do you know that everybody is going to get that phone call one day? How do you know that? Every person that the white man considers to be a nigga. Okay, whether you're, again, Spanish-speaking nigga, don't matter what kind of nigga, okay? I don't know why the tribes be thinking I ain't talking about them. Nigga, wake-up call. Judah catching hell. Esau, you all niggas, okay? But how do you know for sure? From the day you born, you issued. May not happen on that day, but within that week, you get issued something called a Social Security number. Y'all know that? Everybody gets it. that now tracks you your whole life. That tracks you. It tracks you as a commodity. Mainly blacks and Hispanics and Indians. Okay? From the day you born, it's already calculated. It starts to be calculated how much you should be given to the government. That's what the Social Security number is for. You think it's to give you something? You out of your damn mind. And throughout your life, they're going to track you into the phone ring. Nigga! Okay? So everybody is from the day, all your little babies. This is Princess Diana. They're going to give you a Social Security card, okay? All right? Y'all got to pay attention to these. Y'all got to pay attention to these teachings, okay? Especially the stuff from, because it's relevant as time goes on. Remember 3 unclean spirits like frogs? And we was going through that in the Revelation. And one of them was what? What was the 3 of them? What was the 3 of them? Okay, that's the one I'm looking for. Socialism. Socialism. And when you look at the socialism, you're thinking that, what the Lord said that they cause that to come out of their mouth, you're thinking that's just dealing with maybe what's going on in Venezuela.
The security forces were always going to break up the anti-government demonstrations in Caracas. It wasn't a matter of if, but when they started to move in. But the crowds weren't cowed, and they fought back. They dragged anything they could to protect themselves from rubber bullets. Clouds of tear gas filled the air as volley after volley were fired into the protesters.
Well, as the violence has started, we sort of expected it. There's tear gas being fired into the air. They're dragging anything they can find on the street to create barricades. They're smashing up the road now, getting their weapons to throw. The National Guard around the corner from here is being tear gas fired. These people have had enough. I think it was inevitable that this would happen, but this is going to get violent. Well, it already is. There's been people being killed, and this is going to be chaotic.
Which is Esau that sabotaged Venezuela the same way he sabotaged Cuba, the same way that he sabotaged in every Jamaica and Haiti and every place, okay? All right? All the hell that's going on. Trump talking about going to war with Venezuela, okay? You want to kill them too after damn they over there starving, but that's a whole nother subject. But they did it. They did it. You better, again, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I could break it down. Same way I could break down the Cosby trial, piece by piece. I mean, that was blatant racism on display. But you know, where Al Sharpton at? Where Reverend Jesse? I mean, please, no, listen, please. Them niggas are scared. They don't want their nigga wake up call. Okay. Hey, everybody's scared. They close-lipped, okay? I can break that down clear. I mean, the most racist thing on display. They're not even giving a damn no more about how racist that they are. Like, they don't care who knows. You understand what I'm saying? Remember what the Lord said in the book of Deuteronomy? I'm rambling right now because there's just so much in my brain. Remember what the Lord said about in the book of Deuteronomy about a fierce nation that would show no old or young, 81 years old. 81. Okay, the first day he arrived in jail, they threw a damn stale hot dog bun and hit him in the head with it. Okay, 81. Okay, what you think? Okay, yeah, that's the truth. Okay, hit him stale hot dog bun. Man, half blind, or they said he faking it, but stumbled up the steps. It was just horrible. It's just hard, and they're making complete mockery. Before I even get to the trial, okay, they're making complete mockery. Okay, they had pudding and Jello waiting on the man for. And they said they be like, believe us, it's not a joke, it's not a coincidence. We just happen to be serving Jello and pudding. Jello and pudding, y'all. Hit the man in the head with a stale hot dog bun. I mean, how hard was the bun, okay? Revealing his phone calls that he had with his wife, how he's them crying and begging and telling his wife, write a check, do anything. Find somebody to get me out of here. Why is all this stuff public, okay? But that nigga wake up call gonna come. Came for him. 81. Y'all know what 81 is? Do y'all have any idea what 81 is? Huh? Y'all don't know what 81 is? People. Let me go back to this. Romans chapter 13 and 11. Read it again.
And that knowing the time.
Read on.
That now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
To do what?
Awake out of sleep.
Yeah, no, again, these people are sleeping. These people that is calling themselves African American and Puerto Rican and Dominican. The Puerto Ricans got their nigga wake up call with them. They been getting their nigga wake up call. Okay, the most recent, the phone keep ringing, okay? The most recent wake up call for Puerto Rico was the hurricane that they was like, you think you American and you got rights and you can vote and all this other, you can't vote. Well, see, if you see how we deal with you versus how we deal with Texas. The Lord these things are side by side. Texas at the same time. Texas fully recovered, Puerto Rico still in the damn dark, okay? But people are asleep. When you sleep, when you lay down and go to sleep at night, you most likely you at peace. You're having good sleep. People think that this is the place where they're going to get peace. This is the place where they're going to get prosperity. This is the place where they're going to prosper. This is the place where it has changed.